1990, Ohio, USA. David Kirby lies in bed, surrounded by his family in his final moments. His father holds his hand, his mother watches over him, grief and love etched into every face. The black and white photograph captures a moment of quiet devastation, a family saying goodbye. But what's the story behind this iconic and controversial image? In this behind the frame video, uncover the heart-wrenching reality of the AIDS epidemic and the cultural impact of Therese Frare's photograph, later used in a United Colors of Benetton advertisement. Explore the stigma, fear and activism that defined the crisis, and how this single image challenged perceptions, forcing the world to confront the human toll of the disease. David Kirby. David Kirby was a man whose life became a symbol of the AIDS epidemic in the 1980s and early 1990s. Born in Ohio, David was a young man who, like many others, faced the devastation of the AIDS crisis during a time when the disease was misunderstood and heavily stigmatized. In 1990, at the age of 32, David was in the final stages of AIDS. He had been diagnosed with HIV several years earlier and had struggled with the illness as it progressively worsened. David was deeply loved by his family. As his condition deteriorated, they surrounded him with care and support. At the time, there were limited treatments available, and the disease was often considered a death sentence. On the 5th of April 1990, David Kirby's story took a dramatic turn when photographer Therese Frare captured a powerful, heart-wrenching moment in his life. David was lying on his deathbed in his home in Ohio, surrounded by his family. Deeply affected by his son's illness, his father held his hand in a quiet, poignant display of love and farewell. This photograph, taken by Frare, became one of the most iconic images associated with the AIDS epidemic. Therese Frare. The iconic photograph that captured the face of AIDS was taken by Therese Frare. She never imagined that her work would become such a powerful symbol of the epidemic. While studying journalism in 1990, Frare volunteered at the Paternoster House Terminal AIDS Care Facility in Columbus, Ohio. There, she met David Kirby, a gay activist in the final stages of the disease. With the consent of his family, Frare captured an intimate farewell moment as David, surrounded by his loved ones, said goodbye to life. The photograph shows David's father holding his hand. It became a poignant portrait that was used in a Benetton campaign in 1991, sparking significant controversy. The brand used the image in a publication called Pieta, referencing the famous sculpture by Michelangelo. The similarity of David's face to the lifeless Christ caused criticism from the Catholic Church and other conservative sectors, but it also helped raise awareness about the impact of AIDS. David Kirby's image won several awards, including the World Press Photo, and became a symbol in the fight against the stigma of AIDS, highlighting the importance of humanizing the disease and remembering the personal stories behind the epidemic. Benetton. Working with Olivero Toscani, Tibor Kalman was preparing a campaign to raise awareness linked to Benetton's products and culture. When he saw Frare's photograph in Life magazine, he suggested that Benetton include it in their advertising campaign. The company obtained consent from the photographer and David's family. They colorized the image to mimic an ad, making it look more like a religious painting than a photo. The result had a powerful visual impact, but it also sparked controversy. Critics accused Benetton of exploiting David's suffering for commercial gain, and many questioned the ethics of using such a powerful image in their commercial context. Some believed the image helped fight AIDS stigma, while others felt it fueled homophobia by portraying the disease negatively. Despite the backlash, the campaign won numerous awards, and the image was displayed in museums worldwide. David's mother later expressed that they didn't feel exploited, but rather that David's message was louder after his death than during his life. Toscani himself called the image Pieta, comparing it to the famous sculpture by Michelangelo, emphasizing the raw reality of David's death. Benetton's controversial ad marked a significant moment in advertising, raising awareness about AIDS, but also igniting a debate about the ethics of using such powerful imagery for commercial purposes. And that is the story behind the last photo of David Kirby and how it became one of the most powerful and controversial images of the AIDS epidemic. Capturing a deeply personal moment of a family saying goodbye, it not only highlighted the emotional toll of the disease, but also became a catalyst for raising awareness and sparking important conversations. Used in Benetton's 1991 campaign, the image drew criticism for its commercial context, yet it undeniably helped humanise the AIDS crisis and shed light on the struggles faced by those affected.